let this South African motherfucker in the White House? Get him the out. This is America. This is for Americans only. It's crazy to me how the people with bald eagles flying around their house and the Declaration of Independence fucking tattooed on their left ass cheek are preaching America first, America first, America first. And you guys just let an African walk into the government and do a hostile takeover. Hello? This is an American. This is so un-American. This is defying the very personal liberties that our founding fathers gave to us. We're supposed to have checks and balances. Did you guys think that was a joke? Did you think that it was unnecessary to have checks and balances? Oh no, we don't have to worry about it. No, it's okay if all of the systems are just feeding into one another and enabling one another. Do you know what this would be like? This would be the equivalent of all of a sudden Big Scooter infiltrates my local village traffic court, and now Big Scooter has the traffic court making laws that if you don't have a scooter, if you have a bike instead of a scooter, if you have a car instead of a scooter, you're getting fined. And now they also have goons out on the street slapping tickets on people that they see, anyone with a bike, anyone with a car. And then they also have the judges in the system. So if you try and appeal the ticket, now the judges are also like enabling the big scooter agenda. And so now everyone is just fucking scootering around on razors and hitting their ankles left and right, but when there's so many more efficient ways to travel. There's so much going on. Before I get into the fact that like Elon Musk doesn't have authority to do any of this bullshit, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe, drop a like, and leave a comment down below. Establishing and implementing the Department of Government Efficiency. All right, so this is actually just the reorganization and renaming of the United States Digital Service, which, for those who are unaware, it provides consultation services to federal agencies on information technology. Consultation services, going back over here. In consultation with USDS, each agency head shall establish within their respective agencies a Doge team of at least 4 employees. Agency heads shall ensure that the Doge team leads coordinate their work with USDS and advise their respective agency heads on implementing the president's Doge agenda. So this is supposed to be like every agency gets like a little task force sent over to them by Doge that just like consults them, that just gives like, hey, like this is overspending, this is waste, this is where we can make some cuts, XYZ, this, that, and the other. Agency heads shall take all necessary steps in coordination with USDS administrator and to the maximum extent consistent with the law to ensure USDS has full and prompt access to all unclassified agency records, software systems, and IT systems. You have exactly 5 seconds to guess which one of the government agencies went down first. And of course, it's the one that is funding humanitarian aid and pro-democracy movements out in the world. Of course, that's the one that they attack first. No one knew what the fuck USAID was until a week ago. Not even a week ago. Until yesterday. Yesterday is when everyone found out what USAID was. Or I guess didn't find out because the website's down. If I was Doge and I had access to, government data, the first thing that I would do would be to go in and look and see which government agency has the biggest budget, because generally it follows that the biggest budget has the most waste, right? So that's probably what they did, right? No, not Department of Health and Human Services, Social Security, Treasury, Military, Veterans, Agriculture, Education, OPM, Homeland Security, Transportation. Really? You didn't even want to go after education first? Like you didn't... USAID? But okay, let's see what USAID has to say about... Oh, wait. Thank God we have the Wayback Machine. This was the USAID's budget justification. The president's budget request includes $10.3 billion in humanitarian assistance. This includes ongoing emergencies in Sudan, Afghanistan, Haiti, and the Middle East, new and emerging crises and natural disasters. Okay. $2 billion for support to a prosperous Middle East and North Africa. So, Iran doesn't, kill us. $2 billion in USAID for core economic growth programs, including food security, energy, environment, and climate programming, with addition to the Edge Fund. Build and expand digital cyber programs, get $90.9 million. Addressing food challenges gets 1.2 billion. 1.1 billion, sorry. Accelerating climate action gets 3 billion. Champion global health and global security. Okay, like I can see why some of these are annoying to right wingers, okay? All of this stuff with vaccines, they hate that shit. They hate anything to do with infectious diseases. Ukraine, they love Russia. Climate change, they don't believe in. We always want to be giving money to the Middle East. So that's pretty bipartisan. But looking through the budget justification, right? Me personally, I think that all of these are very justifiable, okay? But I can understand why going in with a right-wing mindset, with different priorities, with different, that's it, with different priorities on where taxpayer money should be going. I understand why you would go into this agency and start looking for things that are excess and things to make cuts for, right? It's just the way that you go about it, okay? There's a proper process to be done. There are investigations to be had. There's auditing that you could do. Have they even gotten audited? Like, no, they just went in there. But I just want to show you, like, this is something that can be done very easily, and even is being done, I guess, just not fast enough for Elon Musk. This was released on January 30th. This was released, the Special Inspector General's report for Afghanistan reconstruction. This whole thing goes through how a lot of money that we sent to Afghanistan just ended up being wasted because it wasn't thought through. It talks about energy generators that we made that Afghanistan doesn't have enough fuel to have up and running. So that was a total waste. It's talking about all of these like different, they did audits. They did 11 financial audits. It just for the Afghanistan projects alone. And they saved taxpayers almost 4 billion. Almost 4 billion. So this is effective. This is an effective method that we have in the government already in place with the inspector generals. Oh, but wait, Donald Trump fired them. Donald Trump fired them all. So do you see what he's doing? Do you see what he did? He fired the inspector generals. So that now all of a sudden there's no one to do these reports, and I guess we just have to shut the entire agency down. Oh, shucks. Guess that happens now. Like, the malicious compliance when my mom tells me to like do the dishes and I break one out of spite. I've never done that before, but like that would be the equivalent. If I was asked to do the dishes and I'm like, I don't fucking want to do this, so I just break one. I'm never gonna be asked to do the dishes again, because what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what? Except no, that's not even a good example. This would be like me. This wouldn't even, oh my God, what would this even be a good, hang on. It would actually be more like if I was being asked to do the dishes and every day I just scratched the dishes like a little bit more and more. I just started like carving out the dishes. And eventually there was just no dishes anymore. So I didn't have to do the dishes. Like, okay, now I don't have to do the dishes anymore. But what the fuck are we eating on? What am I drinking my water out of? Like, what? Now I have nothing. Musk aides lock workers out of OPM computer systems. These people didn't have access to their databases to do their jobs. They didn't have access to their emails. They got sent fucking emails asking if they wanted to quit, offering them like eight months of severance or something to not show up to work. Elon Musk got security guards fired by storming into the USAID building and demanding to see classified confidential fucking documents that they refused. And he got them fired. Around senior USAID staff were put on leave last week on accusations of attempting to circumvent Trump's executive order to freeze foreign aid after 90 days. Another senior official was put on leave for trying to reverse that move after finding no evidence of wrongdoing. In other words, Donald Trump is firing anyone who is not bending to his will. And if you are defending that, you are going against the very ideals of our nation by not being supportive of checks and balances. Just stumbled on a ProPublica site with a tool built in that allows you to see the money wasted by USAID and DoD on failed projects in Afghanistan. Wow. This is crazy stuff. Like, this is crazy stuff. Elon Musk retweeted this, and it's just, you know, finding out that there was this much money wasted in Afghanistan. If only there was a way, if only there was some type of, like, process or a report that could be done. If only there was a way better than this website provided by Mazemore on Twitter. It's ironic to hear about a shadow government after the Biden administration was effectively a puppet with no one knowing exactly who was pulling the strings. Once enough people caught on after the debate, the puppet masters tried to install Kamala through a backdoor process. That is what shadow government activities actually look like. It's not Doge conducting a hostile takeover. It's not Doge literally violating the executive order that created it that says USDS shall adhere to all rigorous data protection standards. It's definitely not the fact that these rigorous data this is not happening. This is not shadow government. What they do is accuse the left of doing everything that they want to do, so that when they do what they want to do, they have the excuse that the left did it first. Example, Donald Trump has been going for on and on and on and on till he's blue, or I guess, what color does blue and orange make? I don't know, whatever color blue and orange make together. In the face, about how weaponized the DOJ was against him, about how weaponized this department of government was against him, the evil attorney general, the evil special counsel. It's all corrupt. And now that he's doing it, it's fine. Now that he's using his attorney general and he's putting in his Kash Patel and he's putting it, now it's his attack dog. Now that it's his attack dog, now that's all fine and dandy. Now it's okay for the weaponization of the Justice Department to take place. Now that it's on our side. See, we don't care about principles here on the Republican side. We don't care about ethics and morals. Nah, we just care about owning the libs. That's all we want to do. This is my favorite, because this data Republican guy, you're fucking stupid. Under the Biden administration, billions of dollars were shifted from helping Americans in need to facilitating illegal immigration. Super messed up. This guy posts data Republican. If you look at his account, he's like a loser. I actually don't. He just seems like such a loser. I don't have anything else about him. Anyways, he posts this, right? Take a good look. Church World Services Inc. This is the offender. Church World Services Inc. Right over here. Gross receipts, contributions, grants giving, taxpayer funds. Okay. The claim here is the U.S. is processing refugees directly from Africa through FEMA. FEMA is for Federal Emergency Management Aid. FEMA is for Americans and Americans only. Why is FEMA giving money? Why is FEMA giving money to the border? Why is FEMA helping process refugees in Africa? And he shows the receipts, right? This is official stuff, okay? He has his little chart and he has this. It's very believable. Go in the replies, and this guy got fucking owned. Because why? Because his own graphic literally fucking says that this wasn't awarded by FEMA. This was awarded by the Department of State. Department of State that deals with international affairs. So if the whole claim was FEMA and it's from the Department of State, he tries to justify it. Oh, but they have FEMA grants. Hello? Silly me. Why didn't I think of that? Oh, wait. Aw, they don't have any grants. So now what? Now why are you mad that we're processing refugees in Africa? How dare we process refugees in Kenya? How fucking dare we? How dare we do that? I'm not saying that there's not waste to be found in USAID. I don't doubt it, especially after reading that Afghanistan report. It makes it there's definitely things to be done. My issue is with the unethical carrying out of this policy plan. If you have the intention of truly ridding the government of government waste, why are you attacking such a small agency? Why are you attacking an agency that only makes up less than 1% of the budget? Why are you attacking an agency that focuses on the disbursement of humanitarian aid and on making sure that the US is seen as a helper on the global stage rather than as an entitled fucking spoiled prick. Everyone in the world knows that the US is the richest country in the world. Part of the reason why it's good to do humanitarian aid is just for like optics purposes. How bad does it look to be the richest country in the world and be seeing all of these other countries that you could be giving help to that are in far less fortunate positions than you, and to not be giving a little bit of something? Because if we're not giving them any aid, any type of refugee, any help, anything, if we're giving them literally nothing, you're gonna look at China. They're gonna look at Russia. They're gonna fall into, they're gonna look at China. That's it. They're gonna look at China. And China has a history of sweeping in when we drop the ball, okay? Apparently it's happening in Panama, and that's why we need to invade them. So all Doge did was check to see which federal organizations were violating the POTUS executive orders the most. Turned out to be USAID, so that became our focus. This is a lie. Actually, this might be true. It might be USAID that was violating the executive orders the most, because I'm pretty sure that Stephen Miller cited USAID as being the one agency that has overwhelmingly left people in it, and it's so overtaken by the deep state. I wonder why the agency dedicated to doing humanitarian relief is overwhelmingly taken up by people on the left. This is such a fucking ridiculous argument that I hear, like as if it's some type of deep state conspiracy to put all of the left-leaning commies in USAID. And it's not fathomable at all. There's no possibility that it's just genuinely people that are drawn to that area of expertise, that are drawn to work in that field, happen to be more left-leaning. That's just completely out the window. Never in a million years could that be the case. It's like the same thing when people are like, why do you think that only college-educated people voted left-leaning? Because they're indoctrinated by the colleges. It's like, no, it's actually just because they're probably more likely to have critical thinking skills. If you haven't read Federalist Number 47 yet, I literally feel like James Madison was prolific in his writing of this. Like he predicted that the 47th president was going to be a doozy. And so he wrote an entire Federalist paper on how to protect the government from tyranny. The accumulation of all powers, legislative, executive, and judicial, in the same hands, whether one, a few, or many, and whether hereditary, self-appointed, or elective, may justly be pronounced the very definition of tyranny. Quote, there can be no liberty where the legislative and executive powers are united in the same person or body of magistrates. If the power of judging be not separated from the legislative and executive powers, where the whole power of one department is exercised by the same hands which possess the whole power of another department, the fundamental principles of a free constitution are subverted. This would have been the case in the Constitution if the king, who is the sole executive magistrate, had possessed also the complete legislative power or the supreme administration of justice. Donald Trump said that he would be a dictator on day one. This executive order was passed on day one. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of it. Drop a like if you're aware. My email is arya@lovelyperfecttalks. If you think I got something wrong that you want to tell me about, let's talk. Hope you all have a fantastic 4 more years.